Come on, man.
Shout out to LTTV.
LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's jump into this one. This one is self-explanatory. Let's get right into this reaction. Now, if they were concerned about the health of the citizens and it was actually about this, he would not be able to be walking around in the arena, dapping everybody, no mask on, anywhere in the arena, in the audience, in the crowd, with the fans. Shout out to the chat. Let's get it. Now, Kyrie's smart enough to know that, let me just show people how ridiculous this looks. Can't play home games. I can be in the building. I could be anywhere in the building. I could be on the bench. But he got fined $15,000 or $50,000. Let me pull that before we get into the reaction. Adrian Wojnarowski reports NBA fined the Brooklyn Nets $50,000. Oh, okay. They fined the Brooklyn Nets, not Kyrie Irving. They fined the Brooklyn Nets $50,000 for violating local health and safety protocols by letting Kyrie Irving into the team locker room on Sunday. Adrian Wojnarowski also reports Kyrie Irving is allowed to enter the arena, but not the workplace environment. The locker room is considered part of the Nets' workplace environment at the Barclays Center. Ultimately, the NBA fined the organization, not Irving, for the violation. So Kyrie wasn't fined, but the organization was fined only because he was in the locker room, not because he was on the court, not because he was on the bench, not because he was talking to the fans and dapping up the fans, none of that. This is a demonstration of folks flexing power, flexing their muscles. The New York City mayor, we're going to get right into that. Let's get back into the reaction.
Just from that.
And you're right, sir. You're right. Listen, you're right. Kyrie can play tomorrow. Get vaccinated. I love New York and hecklers, man. I come out of City Hall and people are outside protesting, and I say, wow, it's great to be in New York.
Stop it. Get some help.
What?
Now, listen to what he says and how he says it, too. When Kevin Durant says he was searching for attention.
And you're right, sir. You're right. Listen, you're right. Kyrie can play tomorrow. Get vaccinated. I love
What part of the rule makes any sense? Let's get back
New York
into
and
it.
hecklers, man. I come.
New York and hecklers. Someone disagrees with your policy and they're a heckler.
Come out of City Hall
I guess they
and
were
people are
hecklers.
outside protesting, and I say, wow, it's great to be in New York.
Kyrie walking through the stadium, camera following him. In the crowd, opposing players that are unjabbed are allowed to play in the Barclays Arena. Kyrie, who's unjabbed, is allowed to be in the Barclays Arena around all the people. Is this about public health or is this about flexing muscles? Make sure y'all hit the like button upon entry. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. None of it actually makes sense. They just want to put them in the place of, you're an employee, we run shit. The employees in the public sector need to be vaxxed. Fuck, I shouldn't have said that. God damn it. Should have.
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand it at all. I mean, it's a few people in our arena that's unvaxxed, right? Like, they lifted all of that in our arena, right? So I don't get it.
It's a second mandate that says he can come in but can't play.
I don't get it. It just feels like at this point now, somebody's trying to make a statement or a point to flex their authority. But, everybody out here looking for attention, and that's what I feel like the mayor wants right now, some attention,
Just like a woman.
There's no reason for the mayor to be doing what he's doing. That press conference, he did seem a little giddy to get the attention he was receiving. This is pathetic. None of this makes sense. First, it was trust the science. Now it's, we run shit, do what I say. Oh, he can play as long as he gets the jab.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
But he's allowed in the building.
But he'll figure it out soon. He better. But it just didn't make any sense. Like, there's unvaxxed people in this building already. We got a guy who can come into the building. I guess, are they fearing our safety? I don't get it. So, yeah, we're all confused. Pretty much everybody in the world is confused at this point. Early on in the season, people didn't understand what was going on, but now it just looks stupid. So hopefully, Eric, you got to figure this out. Yeah, I was at the free throw line, I think, when he walked in, and me and Drum looked at each other and was like, yo, this is unreal. Like, I've never seen nothing like this before. And we just smiled. And, I mean, been like, we can say that about a lot of situations over these last 2 or 3 years where things just didn't make any sense.
Hold on, y'all. Did you see Stephen A's response? We about to get into Stephen A's response. We have that here too. Stephen A wants to die on this cliff of take integrity, so he has to constantly find an angle to hate on Kyrie. Although he said the mandates were bogus. But let's get into this. Let me just pull this one part back. I think I already did.
And like this before, and we just smiled. And I mean, been like, we can say that about a lot of situations over these last 2 or 3 years where things just didn't make any sense, especially with COVID being involved. So hopefully it gets figured out. Like I said, Eric, you gotta figure something out, man, because it's looking crazy, especially on national TV, and he can come to the game but not play. Like, come on, man. Hey, yo, Eric, incredible. I mean, I feel like when Drum simplifies the game, he's a force. When he's rolling to the rim, rebounding our misses, running the floor, defending like he did, protecting the rim, he had nights like this easily. I mean, double-doubles for him. He could do that in his sleep. So it's all about staying focused and on us as teammates to put him in good positions to be successful. The ref said he came over and just took the ball out of my hands, but it was a similar play against Philly where I did the same thing. And
forgot to cut this out.
Try to run and jump and be when he's stunned. And then I got there a little too early and hit him, and they called a foul. So I was expecting the same thing for me because I'm blindsided and he running full speed, not turning to him. I got to be able to spin, and that's what I told him. And it was one of those 50-50 plays he felt like that Julius got. But I'm glad we was able to bounce back from that and not let that
all right, I think that's it for the
spiral us and lead us to an L. And guys made plays. Bruce and Clax were huge making that defensive play to see the game about their game plans. And, so I feel like I upped the level with everybody.
All right.
And I was very, I was not.
Here is Big Perk here with us.
I cannot plans
right and, All right, so we got Stephen A's opinion on this. There's no justification of the mandates. None at all. It makes zero sense. It's not about public health at this moment. It's strictly about flexing authority. when we're speaking about the NBA and the Barclays Center mandates specifically. Gotta say that because you two be tripping. Let's get it.
Clean, thank you for being with us, sir. Stephen A., I'm going to start with you. Was it smart for KD to call out Eric Adams?
Hell no, it was not. But before I get into the KD angle, let me say, Big Perk, it was good seeing you draped all over the TV screen yesterday at Kevin Garnett's retirement. I'm proud of my brother. I'm happy they retired Kevin Garnett's jersey. It was well-deserved. That is real as it gets when it comes to that brother KG. And I was very, very happy to see all of y'all there in support of him. Now let me get back to KD. It wasn't wise. Let me say this. KD is not wrong with what he said. I want to be very clear. Kevin Durant was not wrong in terms of it makes no sense to have a policy, a mandate in place where you play for the home team so you cannot play for the Brooklyn Nets because of the city mandate, but somebody from another team can come into the arena and play against the Brooklyn Nets, even if you're unvaccinated. The fans can come in, even though they're not vaccinated. Kyrie Irving can come into the stadium, to the arena, unvaccinated, but he can't play. It makes absolutely no sense. It's a stupid mandate, and Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, needs to get rid of it, even though he's not responsible for putting a mandate in place. That was under the de Blasio regime, a former mayor of New York. Eric Adams needs to get with the times and understand how idiotic this rule is at this particular moment in time. But the reason why I say it was not wise is because Eric Adams is a politician. How do you think it's going to work for you, Kevin Durant, if you're coming up on a podium after a post-game conference in which you dropped 53 points and you're going to call out the mayor? Is that going to behoove him to move more expeditiously, more quickly, and capitulate to some of the things that you're calling him out? How does that work?
Now, Stephen A. Smith called out the mayor a few episodes ago, or was it last episode, for the same thing that Kevin Durant did. And let's get into it. I'm not going to explain what Stephen A. says when you can hear it right here.
And even though we don't get into politics, let me get a little bit political here. How has it worked for this country when you see one side or the other ridiculing one another, calling each other names, calling folks out all the time, but then you got hands together and saying, would you do this for me? No wonder why the hell stuff ain't getting done. Because nobody's negotiating, nobody's compromising, nobody's talking with any degree of decorum or decency at one another. You butting heads, but then claiming you working together. That's not smart.
Now, I do think that the NBA should have made a number of calls to the mayor to try to get rid of this bogus mandate. Kevin Durant, the Nets organization, should have made multiple calls. Stephen A. Smith, who spoke out about this on his platform, should have made multiple calls, but he said it's not his problem, so he's not going to do it. But there should have been calls in place. Kevin Durant should not have to say anything about this. This is absolutely ridiculous.
That's what I mean. And I totally side with my man Mike Wilbon and Jalen Rose on NBA Countdown yesterday when they pointed that out. That's counterproductive. Kevin Durant, as Mike Wilbon.
My bad, y'all. The live chat in the actual video, it ain't working. I don't know why it's not popping up, but it's malfunctioning right now, so you can just see it on the side.
So eloquently stated, Kevin Durant is entirely too intelligent, too smart, too accomplished, too business savvy to think that would work for him with a politician. If you're Eric Adams, and I hope he doesn't do this, if you're Eric Adams, it might entice you to delay even more from lifting the mandate.
If it entices you even more to lift it because Kevin Durant spoke out and called for you to lift the mandates, how ridiculous is that? How much more of an ego issue is this then? It's about flexing muscle and flexing authority at that point. You want to show that you're the boss and you call the shots. So if he says something about it, although it's fully logical and fully rational, you're gonna dispute it just because. Like that's bullshit. That's petulance. It's very childish. That's the mayor of your city?
Hey, just because they took the position of calling you out publicly, you Kevin Durant, you could get the man's number. You work.
Now, Stephen A. Smith is the ultimate company man. He always kneels to authority. ESPN wanted him to get jabbed. He got jabbed.
Perfect.
No dispute. He encouraged everyone else to do it because he did it. He followed the rules. It is what it is. I like Stephen A. Smith. I like First Take. But when it comes to the Kyrie Irving situation, he's been talking out of his ass.
An owner that you play under an owner that has a very close relationship with Eric Adams. I am sure Kevin Durant wanted to have a private one-on-one conversation with Eric Adams. He could have pulled that off in a nanosecond. Why would you do that? That is just not smart, KP. That's where I'm coming from on the Kevin Durant thing. We'll get in.
Now, he said Kevin Durant could have pulled off that call. I do not doubt that Kevin Durant could have actually got the mayor on the phone and had the conversation. I'm pretty sure he's connected like that. But why is Kevin Durant on the phone with the mayor to try to explain to him why he should lift the mandates instead of the Nets organization, the NBA, or the other politicians running the country? To put it on Kevin Durant to do that, well, he called him out in the media. He did his job. He could. I'm not disputing that point. He could make the call. But we also have to point out that it's absolutely ridiculous and there's no logic behind the mandates.
The Kyrie in a minute, okay? But for right now, talking about KD, that's where I'm at with it, KP. Your turn.
Well, first of all, I wanted to tell you, hey, I appreciate you seeing me, in the garden last night. Like Swag Goose say, I felt like a celebrity. Okay, I felt like a celebrity back in the garden.
All right,
look,
get to the point.
Stephen, here's why I gotta disagree with you, Will Barn, my brother Will Barn, and Jay Rose. Y'all all are wrong. It's a new day and age. And listen, you gotta shine light on the people that are wrong. Because the mandate is not held privately, that's public. So why not call the mayor out publicly? See, I love what Kevin Durant when did after the post-game interview. You know why? Because it got me and you sitting up here talking about it today. So as long as you keep shining light on it publicly, then you holding the mayor accountable. Forget all that talking behind the scenes and all that. You don't think they probably didn't done that already? Nothing is getting done. My thing is, in today's world, when you have this dumb rule that we all agree on that doesn't make any sense at all, then you gotta call it out. And you got to call it out publicly. That's why I agree with Kevin Durant and what he did last night. Look, call it out, man. Bring it to the forefront. Let people talk about it. Let the mayor wake up with it on his mind. Let Eric Adams wake up and turn on his television and see us talking about it this morning so that way he could not lose train of thought that he need to get something done about this rule and get something done ASAP. Because Kyrie Irving deserves to be on the basketball court, period. That's all it comes down to. He deserves to be on the basketball court. And last but not least, what Kevin Durant has shown us is that he's probably, as far as his brothers, he's the most loyal dude around the world.
That's
true.
true.
When it comes down to protecting his brother. And that's all he was doing.
That statement right there tells it all, because the media has been trying to get KD to turn on Kyrie and act like it's Kyrie's fault and Kyrie's doing something and Kyrie's jeopardizing their season. Kyrie doesn't care about him, care about the Nets. Always trying to act like Kyrie's a bad teammate because he didn't want to get forced to be jabbed. He's a vegan. He's very careful about everything he puts in his body. He didn't want to be forced. There's other players in other cities playing that are not jabbed. They really tried to divide them. But Kevin Durant is not stupid like that. Kyrie Irving was solid with his beliefs. They're on the same page. They're like damn near best friends. They're not letting the media come between them like that and try to act like it's Kyrie's fault when they know the mandates are absolutely bullshit. Y'all heard Kevin Durant earlier in the show.
He was speaking up for his brother Kyrie Irving that was sitting courtside yesterday while he was sitting up there playing.
Well, let me say this to you, KP. You'll have a point in my mind if Kevin Durant had that private conversation with the mayor. I don't know that to be true, but my thinking is, in saying what I said, it's hard to imagine that he did, because if he did, there would have been nothing wrong with saying I spoke to the mayor and I would disagree with him. You know,
I don't think he spoke to the mayor.
Change this rule. This is nonsense. But if you didn't speak to him, you're Kevin Durant. You do have a level of clout that most people don't have. And what I'm saying is, first order of business is trying to get it done, not calling them out. You can talk about calling folks out all you want to and bringing stuff to public light. I get all of that. But when you talk about getting things done, that's not usually how things get done. Usually things get done when you've got your cachet and you wield it behind the scenes. Now, sometimes it calls for you to take it public, but that can't be your initial step.
All right. Stephen A. called him out publicly. So when Stephen A. called him out publicly on First Take, it was just for the show then. It was just for First Take. It was just for the views. It was just for the headlines. It was just for the entertainment then, because you had no intentions of actually doing something by that logic. But he needed to be called out nonetheless, even if it is by Stephen A., KD, anybody. It's illogical. Absolutely illogical. This ain't the main show today. This is just the first warm-up show before we get into the main show. Get y'all guys some news of what's going on. I already pulled up the $50,000 fine. All right, but that pretty much wraps it up here. Yo Fam says this is why I stopped watching mainstream sports media. Yep, it's full of trash. Full of trash. But we wrapping this one up. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Make sure y'all check out the main show tonight. Probably be around 10, 10:30, 11 at latest. The mandates are bullshit. There's nothing more to say about it. It's pretty simple. He's allowed in the arena. He was by the bench. He was dapping up players at the end of the game. This is not a public safety concern at all. This is flexing authority. We heard the mayor himself. God damn, where'd I put that? Was it before or after? Oh, no, it's real brief, so hold on, y'all. No? Yo, where's the mayor's speech? Oh, there we go. This nigga.
You're right. Listen, you're right. Kyrie can play tomorrow. Get vaccinated. I love New York.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
The NBA has to make the calls. We wrapping it up here. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Join the membership. Hit that Discord if you want to be a part of the call-in shows in the panel. We have a community growing over in the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. And we out. Yeah.